As Ward 8 Councilmember Trayon left the D.C. federal court after being charged with bribery. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'm Simone D'Alba. Prosecutors allege White agreed to accept $156,000 in cash payments to pressure D.C. government employees to extend contracts for two companies to provide violence intervention services in the district. This afternoon, we have team coverage on this high-profile case. Our Lionel Donovan is in Ward 8 with new reaction from the community on this charge. But first, let's begin with our Rafael Sanchez Cruz. He was inside the courtroom when that charge was read. Rafa, walk us through the details of the investigation.
Yeah, Simone, the nearly 40-page criminal documents have photos like this one, which show Councilmember Trayon allegedly accepting envelopes with cash inside, anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000. Now, the FBI says they have White accepting these bribes on video. Now, the 40-year-old was released today by federal judge Jean Michael Harvey, and he was covered by supporters as he left court this afternoon. Some supporters yelling that they loved him as he was placed in a car. As the car departed, they chanted Ward 8. So how did White get caught up in this FBI investigation? Court documents say a company owner in D.C. was facing federal charges for stealing pandemic relief funds and agreed to disclose all of his illegal doings in exchange for a plea deal. The person agreed to work with the FBI and recorded the interactions with White. The Ward 8 council member allegedly accepted 4 cash payments of $35,000 each between June and August. In exchange, White would use his position as a council member to pressure government employees at the Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement and the Department of Youth and Rehabilitation Services to extend several D.C. contracts. Those contracts were valued at $5.2 million and were intended to provide violence intervention services here in the district. Now, White chairs the Committee on Recreation, Libraries, and Youth Affairs, which oversees several agencies, including DYRS. In the recorded interactions, he mentioned several times how he's trusted when he comes to these kinds of issues. Now, these court documents also indicate that it was White himself who suggested to the company owner that they needed to expand and try to get contracts in other areas like housing and mental health. He called housing a, quote, cash cow. Now, the person working with the FBI says that he also gave White other types of gifts, like he was able to take him to gifts like trips to the Dominican Republic as well as Las Vegas. White could face a maximum of 15 years in prison. He also might have to pay 3 times the amount that they say he took. He's due back here in federal court on September 19th. Simone?
I mean, his arrest, the charges, shocking. Of course, he is poised to win a 3rd term in November, and that election is just about 60 days away. Rafa, thanks for your reporting tonight. We appreciate it. Well, moments after the case against Councilmember White was unsealed, Mayor Muriel Bowser spoke to reporters at an unrelated event. Here's what she had to say.
Well, I mean, I could state the obvious, but so maybe I will. It's very troubling. It's very disappointed. I'm sure that constituents across the city, but especially in Ward 8, are very disappointed. People need representation. They need people that go down to the Wilson building and put them first and fight for them. And I know that I speak for them in my disappointment about it. And I want to, anytime any part of the government is questioned in this way, it distracts from the very important work that has to be done. If we are talking about offices that are focused on keeping people out of harm's way, preventing violence, especially with our focus on alternatives to law enforcement strategies, which we're very committed to, this also puts those very effective strategies at risk. So individual decisions, and people will make some good ones, some terrible ones, but they have to be held accountable.
In the last 90 minutes, D.C. Council Chairman Phil Mendelson called the charges, quote, deeply disturbing. He says he's working on a committee to assess the situation, investigate, and make any recommendations to the full council. White's arrest is the topic of discussion in many communities in our region, and that includes the ward that he represents. Our Lionel Donovan continues our live team coverage. He's in Ward 8 with brand new reaction. Lionel, give us a feel here. What's the community White represents saying this afternoon now that we know some more details on the arrest?
Good afternoon, Simone. Well, like Rafa was saying, support for Councilmember White is strong here in Ward 8, the community that he was born and raised in. I've been in the Southeast today talking to folks about the arrest, and many are saying that they hope White gets through this. I actually heard from one gentleman who said that he would vote for White again if he had the opportunity. So for now, let's hear from Ward 8 residents themselves about the situation.
I understand his intentions and what he was trying to do for the community of Ward 8, but I also feel that you chose the wrong direction to go.
If Trayon White was doing whatever he was doing to prevent violence in the district, I feel as though, you know, he should have some grace.
I admire the brother for trying to do something for us, but you know you can't strong arm the system.
So it sounds like many are saying that although Trayon White might have done something wrong, he did it for a good reason. Now, as Rafa was saying earlier, the charges that White is facing carry a maximum prison sentence of 15 years. And the next hearing is scheduled for September 19th. And coming up at 5, I'll have more from the community about White's arrest. But for now, we're live in Ward 8. Lionel Donovan.